Ladies and gentlemen, we've made it. It is Election Day 2020, and I know I'm excited. I feel good about today. I really think Trump's going to win, and we're going to know tonight. I don't think we're going to have to wait weeks and weeks on end in order to find anything out. I think that that's just another one of these scare tactics. Same thing when I was researching this video here. You go on CBS News, NBC News, Fox News, all of the big sites there, and they're all just peddling, oh, what are we going to do? Who knows what's going to happen tonight? Are we going to have a winner? Lines are long, things are broken, and, well, I got a couple of long line stories and a couple of broken ballot machines, which I think is fucking ridiculous. I don't know why you just don't have paper ballots and just count them. You fucking pay these volunteers to come in and run the elections. I fucking don't know how they can't count on a fucking piece of paper, but that's neither here nor there. I'm not in charge of elections, but I just think that it's a stupid, unnecessary risk. And you guys remember in grade school with fucking Scantron machines, you have to use a specific number 2 pencil, right? And barely, 50% of the time, those fucking things would actually scan properly. Oh, if you had your hand on there too long and you got sweaty palms, it would fuck up the reading mechanism. So I think it's a stupid system, but hey, that's neither here nor there. I just want to, show you guys what the hell's going on in places like Maryland, Pennsylvania, and we got something kicking over here in Georgia, but it's really not all that uncommon to see. Okay, long lines are a thing. They've been a thing for a very, very long time. The fact that they are a little bit more well reported this time around and a little bit more prominent is because there's only a certain amount of people that are being allowed into the voting places, as opposed to having the lines on the inside as well, because, COVID's a national disaster still 9 months on. But that's the only reason why the lines are so long. So don't get discouraged if you guys are heading out there right now. And I don't care who you vote for, frankly. Just if you're passionate enough to go vote, fucking go vote, right? And most people right now that I've seen when I was looking at how long the lines are, an hour or two, maybe those are the longest ones. Some people are just walking right up and walking right in. And that's in different counties, like in North Carolina, in Pennsylvania, West Virginia, I've seen, and whatever. Expect about an hour. If it's less than that, great. If it's longer than that, you kind of knew what you were going to run into today. But let's take a look at what's happened over here in Maryland, a place that I am quite familiar with, especially with this campaign. You've seen a handful of videos on the Baltimore region, so I think it's only fair to start here today. Voters who ventured out Tuesday morning across DC, Maryland, and Virginia faced few issues after millions cast their ballots during early voting period. Which, I don't know why, man. Every single state had early voting. Or you could have mailed your fucking shit in. You could have requested an absentee ballot, and it could have been properly tracked and properly delivered, because we all are adults if you're going to be voting anyways. I don't know why this is so difficult. If you think that you're mentally retarded and you can't figure out how the mail system works, it's always sucked. And always anticipate about a week's gap between when you need something to be there and when you're gonna send it out. Okay, that's what regular human beings do. But if you're too stupid to do that, maybe you're too stupid to vote. And, well, at least in my opinion. But in Calvert County, reported hours-long lines, and Prince William County had a few ballot machines temporarily stop working. Oh my god, that means voter suppression's everywhere. They're coming for us. No, this happens all the fucking time. All you need to do is just go back to, fucking pick a time in the 90s. You always have instances where counting machines are down, so don't fucking make too much of it this time around too. These are old, decrepit machines that only get used once every 4 years in some districts and every 2 years in some others, so fucking whatever. But Maryland and Virginia election officials reported few other problems. In other areas, several voters told News 4 they were surprised at quick-moving lines at polling centers, although a heavier flow of voters is expected by the afternoon. Duh, you get out and vote early, and in Democratic places, they want you to vote often as well. Calvert County, Maryland, Chopper 4 filmed a long line of voters heading to Northern High School, one of 5 vote centers in the county. See, if one has polling issues, if one has a machine go down, there's 4 other centers that you can go to as well. And There's such a lax standards. This is why fucking Democrats are so retarded when they say, oh, you voter suppression if you make them show voter ID. Up here in Canada, you have to show 2 pieces of ID. You have to have a valid driver's license or a passport or something and proof of residence. So, and nobody bitches and whines, and we still have relatively similar turnout. So that's once again, one of those instances of soft bigotry of low expectations. You don't think that the people that you're looking out for are smart enough to get a fucking government ID. Like, fuck off. And you hardcore libertarians out there, oh, why do you need it? I shouldn't sign up for the... Just shut up, okay? It's the fucking rule of the law. We can squabble about your fucking gold standard later. Super Vote Centers is the Capital One Center in DC where the not Bullets anymore. Holy fuck. That's a reference for you. The Wizards play. And FedEx Field in Maryland. Yeah, where the Washington Redacteds play. Reported short waits on Tuesday morning. Voters also moved quickly through the Fairfax County Government Center, even though long lines were frequently spotted there during early voting. And I think that's great, turning stadiums and arenas into voting centers. I don't see why that shouldn't be standard moving forward. Like, fuck, they've got the space there. Once all of this COVID shit finally pisses off, yeah, you can have so many polls and so many voting booths there. I just think that that's a great thing to do. That's some kind of easy access or less restrictions that you can definitely put out there. But yeah, everything looks to be smooth sailing outside of the, regular, oh, ballots are down, or polling centers are down. Oh, what are we going to do? Hair on fire. They're trying to steal the election. No, this is shit that normally happens, guys. But we also had something early this morning. You see that this poster was up. There was only one poster in this Philly area polling center, and you're not supposed to solicit votes at a polling center. That is election tampering, and that is illegal. And we got the story to follow up on it anyways. So according to Breitbart, hair on fire enthusiasts, the steal is on in Pennsylvania. Poll watchers denied access, illegal campaigning at polling locations. Now that poster there was at this polling location that they're reporting on, as well as there was guys going up and down the lines. They were eventually stopped, by the way. They were handing out Democratic voting information, so you'd know who to vote for. Nothing for the Republicans because, they retardedly like to follow the rules, even though your other side doesn't. Election day kicked off with a bout of chaos in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, preceded by the night of chaos that would have happened in Philadelphia, with poll watchers reportedly denied access and witness allegation illegal campaigning at various polling locations. I don't like the fact that poll watchers, if this is in fact the case, were denied access, because that is something that is very necessary, so somebody's not influencing your ballot, helping you fill it out if you are unable to properly fill it out yourself, or you don't speak the language, which are certain barriers that you should have to cross in order to vote, in my opinion. But hey, they perform a very necessary task. According to Trump 2020 EDO Director Mike Roman, Democrat election officials are banning Trump poll watchers all across the city, as one video shows. Another photo on social media shows a physical barrier, which Roman says Democrat officials are using to keep poll watchers far from counting tables. Yeah, and maybe they'll be there when they actually start tabulating the vote. This is nothing new. This is nothing new, guys. I'm just giving you the heads up, so if you see any stories later and they're saying, oh, there's the voter suppression, oh, the machines aren't working, yeah, they can still physically count the ballots, okay? It's not the end of the world. It just means, yeah, it's a little tougher time on the people that are working the polls. Not like fun working the polls, but actually, those dolts who are too unqualified to work at a grocery store, but they're talented enough to work a national election. But so last thing to just touch on here, according to Philadelphia Republican Party, in the first 2 hours of voting alone, they received reports of several reporting locations closed, hundreds of voters stuck in lines, ballot harvesting, and officials denying poll watchers access. There are also reports of voting machines down in Westmoreland and Philadelphia counties, according to the Philly GOP. Will they be open later? I don't know. Is this really going to play into anything? Early voting and the fact that they're showing up and there are multiple polling locations in each district kind of leads me to believe that, this is just going to be inconsequential. All this is going to do, these are Trump's strongholds, by the way. these districts. He won significantly in 2016. And based on enthusiasm, he'll probably win by even larger margin. Larger margin. There we go. Try to say that 10 times fast this time around. There's also some similar shit happening in Georgia as well. Georgia County is experiencing a glitch in voting machines during the morning of Election Day. Numerous sources reported. Spalding County officials reportedly said that voting machines county-wide were down following a glitch. Well, if they get up and running, that would be terrific. Otherwise, you can physically count the ballots, but, you know, they need them clicks, right? County officials have not responded to the Daily Caller in time for publication to confirm the status of the technical difficulties. Spalding County Sheriff's Office reportedly confirmed the glitch to a local news station, Fox 5. Officials also reportedly told Fox 5 that the problem is being worked on and that voters should expect longer lines due to the issue, which they hope will be resolved quickly. In the 2016 presidential election, 60.3% of Spalding County, voted for Donald Trump, while 36% voted for his Democratic opponent, Hillary Clinton. Oh, sorry. According to Politico, Georgia's allegedly a battleground state. No, it's not. No, it's not. It's going to get called early. And both Trump and his opponent, Democrat Joe Biden, have campaigned aggressively in the state. One to success with 35,000 people turning out. I think that was Monday he held a rally there. Monday or Sunday? I think it was Sunday. This is Trump, by the way. You'd think Biden could draw 35,000 people. Fuck, he had that disgustingly underattended John Legend and Lady Gaga performance. Like, fuck off already. And because he does such a terrible job at campaigning, this is Biden, by the way, he had to drag out the corpse of Barry Obama, who had to stump for him and spread his fear-mongering in Atlanta. And last but not least, to prove that the deep state monsters, the goblins out there, are definitely trying to steal the election. CDC says people sick with COVID-19 can break quarantine and to vote in person. Getting distracted by this, I'm going to have to go ahead and move it down a little bit. Coronavirus patients can break quarantine Tuesday to vote in person, the Center for Disease Control and Prevention has confirmed. Okay, if that doesn't kill off this COVID narrative, I don't know what the fuck does. I think that it's absolutely ridiculous at this point that, oh yeah, no, we need to close down the entire country, but if you're sick, you can vote because Biden needs your help. Something seems off, guys, and I think that that's proof positive of that. Voters have the right to vote regardless of whether they're sick or in quarantine. Okay, then what was the point of all this mail-in ballots? What was the point of this? You know, we can't leave because 15 days to slow the spread in March. And we need nationwide mail-in ballots. But if you're sick, you can still go vote in person. That's why the more conspiratorial side of this, if you take a look at it, it's like, okay, there's glitches in Georgia. The polling stations are down in Maryland and in Pennsylvania. Maryland's not in play. Maryland's going to go blue 100%. Georgia, it'll be closer, but I still think Trump's going to win by several points. And Pennsylvania the same way. I know, right? Bold prediction. But of you eagerly watching the video, and hey, I just put this shit on in the background because I think the information's a lot more important than the presentation, but that's just my opinion. I, like everybody else out there, have my final prediction, and it's bold. It's bold, but based on the experts I listen to and I call my opinions from, and it's a diverse group of people on the left. It's intellectuals, comedians, people on the ground, lawyers, politicians, and then of course judging based on what my metrics are, like enthusiasm and track record. I think that it's we're gonna know tonight. Now, is Trump gonna be able to announce? That's up in the air. A lot of people are suggesting if Biden wins in a landslide, he'll be able to declare himself the victor, and we'll just have to live with that. But if Trump wins by this wide margin, which, you know what, fuck it, enough here. This is what I'm thinking. I think everything in 2016 is going to fall exactly for Trump, and the only ones that are going to flip, I think Minnesota, man, all of those George Floyd riots, the fact that it is the epicenter of all the violence that's been going on, the Iron Range coming out for them, and the voter fraud with Ilhan Omar, which is actually for a Project Veritas video, has gotten very good coverage. I think that Minnesota is going to flip. New Hampshire was within thousands of votes of President Trump the first time around, and he, at least in my opinion, what I'm seeing out there, the people who voted for Trump in 2016 are still going to vote for Trump. Okay, I don't see too many high-profile Trump supporters out there flipping from 2016 and not voting for him again in 2020. I'm seeing a lot of it the inverse. A lot of people who are unconvinced by Trump in 2016 now voting for him in 2020. Like I've said before multiple times, I don't think endorsements mean fuck all, but it is representative of the type of people that they embody voting for that person. Now, when I say that, I'm talking about guys like Ben Shapiro, who embodies the more religious side of the right. People who were turned off by Trump's boisterous nature and didn't think that he'd follow through on any of his promises. Well, in fact, he has followed through on a gaggle of promises. And has he softened with his rhetoric? Yeah, a little bit. Is there any more damage that can be done by it? No. And that's why I think that these people are coming home. And then on the sports side, you have guys like Clay Travis, the Outkick founder. He didn't vote for Trump in 2016. He was unconvinced by him. And now he represents that disenfranchised sports fan who just wants a return to regular sports without politicization. Politicization. I think that's right. And I know sports is the second largest topic that I talk about on this channel. And it's definitely a sentiment I share as well. So and there's other guys who are less tacitly supporting Trump. Like you got, okay, Dave Rubin the first time around. There's a significant uptick in these minority communities that are now going for Trump because he sees that, or they see that the opportunity that they might have fell for the rhetoric the first time, but since he's been in office, he hasn't exactly lived up to all the hype that was around him the first time. Oh, he hates Mexicans. Oh, he hates blacks. Oh, he hates gays. Very much the flip reverse of that. And you can't discredit the walk away campaign because those rallies are not insignificant in size. Candace Owens with her Blexit movement and everybody else surrounded with that. Brandon Tatum as well. I think that there's an enthusiasm there that is not even remarkably close to what's happening with Biden and the Democrat supporters right now. Hey, if you want to compare a drive-up rally of what, a few dozen cars to 35,000 people in Georgia, 54,000 people in Pennsylvania, and finishing the night off last night in Kenosha and in Michigan as well. The fact that I tuned in last night to just see what the final Trump rally looked like, there was 100,000 people watching the live stream, okay? And there were several thousand people at this airport. That is something you can't replicate on the other side. Like, listen, they can spill out all of their celebrities. But like I was saying before, with these people coming home to the Republicans this time around, who do celebrities represent? Celebrities like them? California is going to stay blue regardless. And that's where most of these idiots live. And if not there, they live up in New York, which, bold prediction, I've said it a bunch of times already. I think New York is going to be within single digits. Come back to this one after all the ballots are counted, and we'll see. We'll see. I think I'm a little boorish on that, but I'd rather be accused of making bold predictions than just a little safe bets. But yeah, guys, have fun tonight. I don't know what kind of coverage you guys are going to watch tonight. I'm going to stay away from most of the mainstream places, even Fox, man. The guy who's going to be calling state by states is a dyed-in-the-wall Democrat, Aaron something or other. Yeah, Fox News, man, it is becoming a wasteland of rhinos and Democrat recyclables. MSNBC, I might just tune in to see Rachel Maddow cry again. CNN is just going to look like a fucking Jonestown meeting. So I'm just mostly going to stick to streams on the night. I got a bunch that I want to check out. Like, Crowder's got a good gaggle of guests he's going to have on tonight. I suggest you guys hopping in there for a little bit of time for sure. The one that I watched in 2016, I'm definitely going to be checking out again in 2020 is Mr. Anthony Cumia. You cannot doubt the fact that guy was one of the funniest people still working today, because he's going to have on Nick DiPaolo and Gavin McInnes, and it's just going to be a real fun time. Hopefully they stick around for the entire time. Otherwise, I'm just going to be hopping around, and then a couple of other content creators that I really enjoy as well. And then if you guys are looking for a little bit more of an intellectual debate, somebody who's a little bit more focused on the economy and how things actually work outside of, just trying to give you a laugh on the night, definitely check out the Patrick Bet David channel. The dude is remarkably smart and underwatched. I'm going to be checking in with him because I really like everything that he's talking about. I think you guys might as well if you're very much into the inner workings of how the economy works and how society is better off under a capitalistic structure. A guy came from Iran and he knows firsthand that an ideological one-party rule is not exactly something that we need in the United States and the Western world in general. But with that said, I just want to do one little thing that I haven't really done in a while. I like about a month ago, I had the little line of, oh, make sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. But I just thought that that's something that you needed to do. It was something I didn't want to have to do, and I'm still not going to do it. I'm not going to beg for fucking likes or subscribes or fucking comments. I just want to talk with everybody who's out there. And we've been going now for about, what, a little better than 2 months. Mid-August, I think I started up, and it's been a lot of fun, and everything's been building to this day. Most of this, I think I have, what, a few dozen videos on the election and a lot of stuff in regards to this. So everything has been building up to today, and we've been averaging about 1 subscriber a day, and that is better growth than I could have ever thought. And I just want to thank you guys very much for giving me a little bit of your day, because I really want to make this work, and it's getting better and more fun every single day. And I hope you guys enjoy tonight. Regardless of the outcome, I think that we're all going to be okay. And yeah, let's have a good time. How about that? Thank you all very much for the gift of your time. I'm Don Consuelo. I want you guys to follow your gut and get after it. Take care, everyone.